How are you going to address the violence against women, knowing very well that violence against women is a leading cause of transmission of HIV and AIDS, especially to the women and the girls? Because you've addressed the rape part of it, but we've seen women being battered by their husbands. We've seen women being inherited by their in-laws after the husband's death, being deprived of their properties because the husband is dead, and we've seen them being discriminated just because they've been found to be HIV positive. So how are you going to really address that violence?
Let me share with you my testimony. After getting enrolled as an advocate in 1994, instead of working in Kampala, I decided to go and set up the first ever legal aid project in northern Uganda, in Gulu. I walked to the legal aid project of the Uganda Law Society. No one didn't want to take that job. I decided to take it. I know the stories of women who are battered. Now, leaders need to speak out about breaking the silence. There are many women, including the intellectual women, the high-class women who drive Pajeros. They are beaten up by their husbands, but they put on makeup and wear big dark glasses to hide the bruises. Now, if someone with a PhD cannot talk, do you really expect the village woman to talk? So I hope, as president, I will be able to empower women to speak out. Secondly,
how do you empower women to speak up?
You empower women to speak out using role models. Not in the sense of breaking homes and so on, but it is important that the government should support these campaigns that NGOs are supporting. The government should be seen to be supporting the campaigns that allow women to speak out. There are cases where men take it for granted that if there is HIV in the home, then the woman must be the one who is to blame. I don't know what puts it into the heads of the men, but whatever it is, the men seem to be lacking in scientific appreciation. Thirdly, we need to enforce the criminal law. It is a crime to beat up your wife. It is as simple as that. But also, the legal process is too long. Let me tell you something so amusing. When I took over as chairman of Gulu, the women came to petition me when we managed to ask the UPDF to withdraw from the detaches. We found that the women preferred the rough justice of the soldiers. Because if a woman reports a case of battering and assault, then the army officer in charge just says, "Where is the bastard? Bring him here." They bring him and whip him, beat him up and say, "Go home and don't do it again." Now with the police, they take statements for 2 weeks. Another 3 months investigation. And then they start asking the woman should facilitate them for transport. So women are getting a raw deal from the justice system. So we will tackle the weaknesses of the justice system so that women can get justice. But more importantly, we also have to tackle the culture. There are those who go around saying, it is honorable to be beaten, Something which is ridiculous. That it is a sign of love. It is so silly. Secondly, there are those who, after their relatives have died, they insist on taking over the wives because they believe that the wives are also part of the property. These are attitudes that we have got to change. So we will tackle the police to make sure they speed up investigation. We'll tackle the justice system to make sure that the machinery of justice rolls faster and more powerfully in favor of vulnerable women.